Welcome to the channel. This is where I clear up confusion and help you understand what you should be doing for your health and quality of life. In this video, I'm going to explain why everything you've ever been told about working out while going through menopause is wrong. But before I get to that, let's talk real quick about subscribing to my channel and understanding that the idea of why I started this channel is to help people get better, help women move and live better, improve their quality of life, reach their full potential. In order to do that, I need you to subscribe and I need you to share this channel with someone that you love, someone that you care about, someone that can use the information to help them improve their lives. Okay? Would you do that for me? I really hope so. Thank you. Over the last several years, I've been a coach for almost 12 years. Over the last several years, I've really been focusing on helping women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s who are pre, peri, and postmenopausal. A lot of my clientele, a lot of the people that I work with are dealing with this phase of life. Now, uh, I'm not a woman, obviously. I can't speak from experience of going through the things myself, but as a coach, as a guide, I have helped hundreds of women figure out what's going to work best for them. And there's some commonalities that I've found over the years that work most of the time for most women to improve the symptoms of menopause, improve their quality of life, and help them sustain their body composition, their health, and their ability to be physically free long after they've made that transition. Okay, during and after. It's about sustainability, it's about doing it for a long time. So let's talk about some of the things that I found work the best that may go against a lot of the information that we're hearing in the keto space, carnivore space, and just in general in health and fitness. Okay. There's some things that we talk about. We talk about fasting. We talk about not working out intensely. We talk about taking it easy. Okay. We talk about not eating too much protein. You need more fat for your hormone management, all these different things. And I'm here to tell you guys, most of that stuff isn't sustainable and it doesn't work long term because we're not looking at just dealing with menopause. We're looking at menopause being a part of, a fraction of, a big fraction, obviously, of the overall picture of quality of life. And we have to take the entire picture of quality of life into account when we're making changes and we're trying to make adjustments to deal with a specific situation. The specific situation that you're going through doesn't become the only thing that you have to deal with in your life. So if the solutions that you're developing are focused on a subset of the whole, then you're missing a large majority of the other things that are affecting how you live your life. So what we want to try to do is we want to try to find the things that are commonalities across both. What is the specific situation? What is the big picture? What are the things that are commonalities to both that can help improve everything overall? All right. And that's kind of how I look at this. So let's look at the first thing. The first thing we hear all the time when it comes to dealing with menopause is stay away from intense training, stay away from doing things that are hard physically, take it easy, go for a walk, all these kinds of things. That's bullcrap, guys. Okay. Get out there, lift the weight, add the muscle, improve your physical ability, and do all of the things you possibly can. That muscle is going to solve problems for you. Okay. And here's what I mean. Number one, as you're going through the change, your estrogen drops. That leads to lower muscle mass. Okay. The last thing you want to do as you increase in age is lose muscle. Okay. Sarcopenia, the loss of muscle, is one of the leading causes of early death in the elderly. Okay. So when you're 40, when you're 50, when you're 60, you should be doing everything you possibly can to avoid muscle loss. And that means you need to do intense resistance training. Number one. Okay. Number two, strength training builds muscle. Muscle does what? It helps you regulate your metabolism. Okay. The muscle is the primary utilization center for energy in your body. Okay. The more muscle you have, the more your body is going to regulate its energy usage, the more your body is going to function properly, and the more things are just going to work better. That's how it works. Okay. Number three, 20% of bone loss. 20% of bone loss happens during menopause, right? If you are not providing a stimulus to your bones, you are going to get osteopenia, turn it into osteoporosis, and then all of the other things go wrong from there. Okay, your risk of falls and breaks and strength in general, all those things increase the less bone density you have. Immune function goes down. There's a whole bunch of things that happen when you lose bone density. We don't want that to happen. The only way to prevent that from happening, there's two ways. We'll talk about the second one in a minute. The main way to keep that from happening is to build muscle, is to provide that tension, that stimulus, that stress on the bones to cause them to build that matrix and get stronger. Okay. And then the last main piece that I want to bring up is that insulin resistance increases during menopause. The best way to fight that is to, one, utilize energy through exercise to build more muscle and create a larger storage for glycogen. So there's less of a requirement. Okay. And then just by the exercise itself and by building muscle and increasing metabolism, you are fighting against insulin resistance. You are increasing insulin sensitivity. And that is exactly what you need to do. Okay. So from anyone that tells you that if you're in menopause, getting ready for menopause or whatever, that you need to relax and chill out on your weight training, I can tell you from experience in the hundreds of women that I have worked with over the past several years that that doesn't work. The best thing that you can do to improve the symptoms of menopause and to improve overall your physical ability and metabolic function while you're going through it, you need to do intense weight training. Okay. Now, obviously, there's other videos I have on what is intensity and how that all works. That's another video for another day. But if you're not lifting heavy and you're not building muscle, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to reduce your menopause symptoms and improve your quality of life. Okay. That's number one. Second thing we're going to talk about, eating more protein. Okay. Often we hear, and this drives me absolutely crazy. We often hear that you need to eat fat to support your hormones, that menopause is all these changes happening to your hormones. And it absolutely is. But we often forget. And I've talked to some hormone experts, hormone specialists who didn't know that some hormones come from amino acids and some hormones come from fatty acids, that protein actually supports thyroid function. Thyroid hormones come from amino acids. So if you are not getting enough protein in this time period where your hormones are going crazy and different organs are taking over and things are all over the place, the last thing you want to do is not provide the core building blocks for one of the major hormonal centers of the body and let it do everything that it possibly can to provide the support to your body that it needs. If you are going through or getting ready to go through menopause, I highly recommend you increase your protein intake. Most people don't get enough protein. Most women that I've ever dealt with, I've dealt with many women, and I can count probably on two hands of the hundreds of women I've dealt with, two hands, how many times I've had to tell someone they're getting enough protein, they don't need more protein. Okay. Most women are not getting enough protein. You probably can eat more. Okay. That's the first thing. Hormone support it's necessary. Amino acids are necessary. The second thing, we talked about the first thing, exercising, building muscle, doing all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? You can't do that if you're not eating protein. You have to eat enough protein to support the growth that you're trying to stimulate. So if I'm stimulating muscle, but I don't have the protein, then all I'm doing is breaking down muscle. It never has a chance or it has anything to build up with. So increasing your protein is the partner, the flip side of the coin of exercise and strength training. If you're going to increase your muscle mass, you have to increase your protein. Okay. Those are the two main things I want you to think about there. Protein is a good thing. And then obviously there's a third thing, a little side bonus. Okay. If you're increasing your protein, you're also increasing what we call the thermic effect of food. We're increasing a little bit of metabolic activity that's going to help you burn a little extra fuel. Nothing bad about that. Okay. A little icing on the cake, so to speak, figure of speech. All right. And then the last main thing I want to talk about is fasting. I hear a lot of people talking about fasting being a great tool to help the body balance itself out and improve metabolic function during menopause. Sure, that can work great. But guess what? Guess what else works great and has a whole bunch of benefits on top of what you get from fasting? Exercise. Physical activity, strenuous physical activity that stimulates metabolic improvement does everything that fasting does and then some. Autophagy, insulin sensitivity, reduced body fat, improved mitochondrial health, improved hormone activation, suppressed appetite, improved immune system, improved brain function, improved cell processes, hormesis, the way the cells actually work, and improved overall metabolic performance. The full function of your body improves when you exercise. All of those things are the exact same list you're going to see when someone says, how do you, what does fasting do for you? All of those things, all the exact same things, and then some. And what do I mean by then some? Okay. Improved muscle mass, improves metabolic performance, better sleep, improved strength. There's 10 components of fitness: strength, endurance, balance, agility, accuracy, flexibility, stamina. All of these things that exercise improves to help improve quality of life that you're not going to see with fasting. Fasting is one of those things where it's targeting one specific aspect of a thing about your quality of life, a thing about your health, but it's not addressing the total picture. Fitness and exercise actually addresses a whole bunch of issues as well as those specific things. Okay. You get better at how your body moves. Okay. Fasting isn't going to help you get up and down off the floor better. Fasting isn't going to help you go out in the backyard and play with your grandkids any better. It's not going to help you on that hike. Okay. Physical ability and your options that you have for the things you can participate in life, those things are improved through fitness and exercise. Okay. So to recap real quick, guys. Okay. Number one, you need to do some weight training. Number two, you need more protein. And number three, exercise is better than fasting in pretty much every single case. Those are the three things I want you to keep in mind. Okay. Remember, lift weights, exercise regularly, eat protein. You're going to see incredible improvements in how you feel and your general quality of life. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Okay. Check this out. In 2022, I did an experiment with a bunch of women over 45 years old who were postmenopausal. We had them for 8 weeks. We had them follow a higher protein ketogenic diet and do high intensity functional fitness training 3 times a week at a minimum. Some of them did it 5, most of them did it 3 days a week. Okay. Here's what happened after 8 weeks. Check this out. They gained muscle, they lost fat. The symptoms that they were feeling of menopause were improved across the board. They got stronger, they had more energy, they slept better. Some women had hot flashes go away. There's a whole bunch of things that impacted their life beyond even just dealing with menopause. Okay. The ability to do things on their own without having to ask for help, the ability to go all day long and not feel like they were exhausted at the end of the day, but still have energy to participate and do things with their family or their spouse. Okay. It was absolutely transformative for these women. And if you want more information about that, I actually got a case study. We did the experiment. We did a case study. It's published in a peer-reviewed journal. I'll put the link in the description if you want more information. Okay. But I'm telling you from experience, these things work. Okay. It's not about restriction. It's about looking at how can I make my life better and doing the things that improve my quality of life instead of taking things away. All right. If this info was helpful, please subscribe and click on the bell to get notified every time I put out a new video. Don't forget to share this channel. And if you like this content that I have on here, okay, then you're going to love my book. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a book that's published on Amazon. It's the Ultimate Ketogenic Fitness Book. It's available now. Go check it out. It will help you walk through the process of improving your quality of life using a ketogenic diet and fitness and fixing your mindset so you can keep going forever and ever. Take it easy.